education interventions with the Alachua County Public Schools Curriculum Department. Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Good evening, parents. I'm excited to start showing you about our new Beyond the Bell program. It started last year. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So our Beyond the Bell program is a program that started last year. It is a free virtual tutoring and homework help service, and it's offered to each and every student in Alachua County Public Schools, and it takes place after school hours. So currently for our elementary students, K to 5, they have two options. They can attend from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. and attend anytime during that time. And our middle grades and high school grades can attend from 6 to 7 p.m. And for middle and high, it's actually tailored to what their need is. So if they need help in ELA, in language arts, they can meet a tutor that specializes in that area. Or if they need the ever popular math assistance, then there is a tutor that can assist them with that. So tonight we're going to kind of talk about how Beyond the Bell works, how it served our students last year, and what the future of Beyond the Bell might look like for Alachua County Public Schools. So like I said, it started last year, and at the end of the program, I'm going to actually show you how we log in to Beyond the Bell, how the students would access that. But basically, through our website and their student portal, they access a Zoom link, and that provides them direct access through Zoom to a certified teacher that specializes in their grade level or in the subject area that they might need assistance in. So last year during the school year, we were able to help 2,684 students, and we had 81 teacher participants. The primary focus of that support was for homework and kind of supporting that learning that takes place within the classroom. So it started at the beginning, to assist students virtually, and the shift now is to help students virtually with their academics. So it kind of started to assist those virtual learners, and now we want to use that virtual platform to help every student, whether they are an e-school student or whether they are a brick and mortar student attending one of our schools. So this year we've already started. We started on August 29th. We again have over 80 of our teachers that are participating, but we are looking forward to branching out a little bit. So we are suggesting, we have a vision of theme weeks. We're planning a science night, guest tutors. We're trying to incentivize for using the Beyond the Bell service. And probably what I'm most excited about and passionate about is our targeted sessions. Whether a student is experiencing a deficit or needs an enrichment in a certain area, this is such a nice opportunity for us to take teacher recommendations or even parent recommendations where we can offer tailored support, whether your student might need with something as small as memorizing their multiplication facts, or something as in-depth as working through those tough multi-step equations, when we're in high school. So, and also even greater is supporting that the English language learners. Just today, we worked with a student that has been in our country for 1 month, and we were able to sit and read with her and just expose her to language and expose her to print. And it was just a wonderful time where she could spend one-on-one meeting with a teacher. And she's actually looking forward to coming again on Monday. So how you can help as parents, obviously, is to encourage your kids to attend Beyond the Bell. But even more so than that, we really would love your feedback on how we can make this suitable for your child and what we can do to support them through this opportunity that we have to provide virtual support. You can email that feedback to me. Get this email right here is btb@gm.sbac.edu. And that actually comes directly to me. And I would love to hear your feedback and ideas to expand and grow this program. So that's all I have for this evening. Thank you so much for your time. Questions?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes,
we do have a question regarding Beyond the Bell.
okay.
Yes, Mr. Ann has asked, will the child have a chance to meet the same teacher on Beyond the Bell? Ms. Davis, can we answer that?
Yeah, so we do have a variety of teachers, but I will say there is some consistency. So currently at this time, the teachers are working within their same grade levels, and so they're not going amongst the different grade levels. So it is highly likely that they would meet with the same teacher.
Okay. Hopefully that answers. And these are certified teachers that are volunteering their, making themselves available Monday through Thursday to work with our students. Right, Mrs. Davis?
Yes, and actually, if you want me to, I can show them exactly how to get that. That was my plan, was to show them how to get to the website, to the tutoring session.
Oh, I think that would be awesome.
Okay, yep, I will go ahead and do that now. All right, so each student will have access to our website. I'm going to pull that up now. From our website, our homepage, obviously we have our advertisement there, Beyond the Bell, but over here on the right is the Beyond the Bell tutoring tab. And once you click there, it will link you to an option. It gives you the hours. And then if you click here, we'll go for K-5. It's going to give you some additional instructions down here and just how to be prepared for tutoring, the Zoom recommendations, and if you need technology help. But the student is going to have their My Portal login. Most students, the majority of them know it and know it well because they use it at school. But if they don't, your child's school can assist with that, or I can help facilitate getting with their site tech and getting that information to you. But you would just click the Zoom link and it will start to launch the Zoom link. You will be met by a facilitator that will greet you and get your child's information, and then we'll get you directly to a tutor. So it is fairly simple.
All right. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Because I'm sure as we go into September here, we're starting up. We've worked some of the glitches out in the schools, and we're ready to get going. And I'm sure homework will be assigned, if not already, real soon. So this is, like I said before, just so amazing to have this resource. And thanks for sharing, and welcome aboard. And I'm sure you'll get lots of feedback and questions and comments concerning, just as you did last year, concerning how valuable this program is and how parents just appreciate the help, that resource for their children. So if there are no other questions following Ms. Davis's presentation, we have Dr. Bill Goodman. Let me be sure that we've answered all the questions, Ms. Davis, concerning Beyond the Bell. And it looks like we have. We have Dr. Goodman with us, and Dr. Goodman is a retired educator of the Alachua County Public School System and a licensed mental health counselor. And he will present financial aid updates and scholarship information. Dr. Goodman, we welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us.
It is, I am very, very happy to be here. I want to thank Pamela Anderson and the Parent Academy for allowing me to spend time talking about financial aid with you. So I'm going to go to sharing my screen with you so that you can see what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Probably the only other thing before I do that I'd like to share with you is I have been helping high school seniors and parents in Alachua County for the last 42 years with college financial aid. So if at any time you need my assistance, I am certainly happy to help you. My cell phone number is 352-328-8707. And my email address is williamj.goodman@icloud.com. And I'm going to pull that up right now so you can see it. Okay, hopefully everybody can see the screen now. I'm going to be talking about college financial aid for Alachua County Public School seniors. Just so you're reminded of, my name is Bill Goodman, and I've been helping Alachua County High School seniors for the last 42 years. My sincere hope is that as you begin to pursue applying for college financial aid, that you will consider contacting me. I'm happy to talk with you over the phone. I'm happy to meet you on a Zoom meeting, or I'm happy to meet you at any of the public libraries in Alachua County and walk you through some of the most significant application programs that are out there. I love the opportunity to help with the Federal Student Aid ID and Password, with the free application for Federal Student Aid, also known as a FAFSA, and for the Florida Financial Aid application. One of the reasons I focus on those three is over 50% of the students in Alachua County can access money to pay for tuition, fees, and books at just about any of the public state universities in Florida, just by completing those forms accurately and sending it out, okay? I'm especially interested, since I've been doing this now for 42 years, of helping students who have special life circumstances. For example, if the student is the first generation college going student, or a student is from a low income or moderate income family, or the student is independent, which means they've been self-supporting as a high school student, or if the student does not live with their parents, or if the student has been attending high school in Alachua County, but is a non-citizen, those are special life circumstances that I'm very knowledgeable about how to help those students. So again, I hope if that applies to you, that you'll reach out to me and allow me to help you. Please be aware that if you're a senior on free or reduced lunch, completing a FAFSA application, and completing the Florida Financial Aid application can generate thousands of dollars in free money for you each year that you're in college, okay? An example is the Pell Grant, which is when you complete a FAFSA, you're applying for a Pell Grant, you're applying for college work study, and you're applying for direct student loan money. The Pell Grant actually allots up to $6,895 for students who are, whose family income qualifies them for maximum Pell Grant money. So again, it's important that students complete the FAFSA and they complete the Florida Financial Aid application as early as possible during the month of October. Most college information from the FAFSA is used to assess financial need. So even if you are, if the student is living in a moderate or higher level income family, the colleges are going to use information directly from the FAFSA to decide whether or not the family makes enough money to pay for college expenses. So it's important, very important, to complete those two applications in October. If you would like my assistance with that, this is my cell phone number, 352-328-8707. And this is my email address, williamjgoodman@icloud.com. And if you email me, I'm happy also to send you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation so you have all the information we're going to talk about this evening. The topics I'm going to be covering this evening pretty rapidly include college admissions, how to make college affordable, different types of college financial aid, primary sources of college financial aid for Alachua County seniors, and then steps to completing federal and state financial aid applications, which are the FAFSA and the Florida Florida financial aid application. The first real step to getting college financial aid is to apply for admission. No college financial aid can be processed without you applying for admission and being accepted to a college. You will want to apply for admission to several colleges in September to maximize your financial aid opportunities. Many of the universities in Florida have what's called a priority deadline for both admission and financial aid. Just so you know, the University of Florida is one of those public universities that does have a priority deadline for admissions and financial aid of November 1st. So you should complete and submit an admissions application, a free application for federal student aid, and a Florida financial aid application, if possible, by the second week of October. Those applications open up for you to complete starting on October 1st. Most colleges also require, when you're applying for admission, that you send them a certified transcript from your high school that includes high school courses, GPA, ACT, SAT scores as part of the admissions process. If you have not taken the ACT or SAT, I highly recommend that you register to take the September and October tests so that that information can be processed prior to the priority deadline set by the universities. The last thing that you should do when you're applying for admission, once you've completed the admissions application, if you are attending a college in Florida, you will want to get online for that particular college or university and complete a Florida residency declaration application. That actually is the application that's required for you to get in-state tuition rather than out-of-state tuition. The difference in Florida at a state public university, tuition is generally about $6,500. If you have in-state tuition, it's about $20,000 if you have not completed a Florida residency declaration application. So those are some really important steps related to college admission. The last thing I'd like to talk about related to college admission is the use of the Common App. An example is the University of Florida is one of the 900 colleges in the United States that now use and accept the college app for admission. So if you are applying to multiple colleges, you may want to log into the Common App and look at whether or not the colleges you're interested in applying to are listed there. If they are, then basically completing a Common App may save you time and money. The other thing that I recommend that students do prior to applying for admission is if you get on Google and type in State University System SUS Matrix 2022, you will get what you're seeing on the screen right now. It basically gives you an idea of what the GPA and SAT and ACT test scores were for all of the public universities in Florida. So you have some idea right up front what your chances are of being admitted. And if you actually have to raise your GPA or test scores, you would have some idea about that. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about how to save money or to make college as affordable as possible. Some of the things you ought to know is public colleges cost less than private colleges. In-state public colleges cost less than out-of-state colleges. If students stay at home to eliminate or reduce housing and food costs, they save about $15,000 or $20,000 a year. So there are a lot of students that decide at least the first 2 years they're in college to do that just because of the actual savings for them. Again, we talked about the Florida residency application. That needs to be completed to get in-state tuition. That lowers costs. It's also important for you to know what you want to major in as a college freshman. That knowing that will save you time and money. And what I would like to encourage you, if you don't know what you want to major in, there is a website called America's Career Infonet. If you go to that website on Google and you type in most openings and then click on whatever degree you're after, you are going to get a list of the high demand, high wage careers for the entire United States. And if you switch to the state of Florida, it will give you a list of that too. So it's important, particularly if you don't know what you want to major in, for you to go to that website and get some idea of what are the career, high demand, high wage career majors out there. These are the various types of college financial aid. Most of you are familiar with scholarships. That's free money. The majority are academic and financial need based. But you should also be aware that there are state-sponsored scholarships like the Bright Futures, Mary McLeod Bethune, and Jose Marti scholarships. There are also scholarships that are specifically that are specific to college freshmen. So when you're talking to a college financial aid office, you may want to ask about that. You should be aware that you should be applying for scholarships every year that you're in college. There are scholarships that are reserved for junior and senior year that become available when you have reached that point in your college education. You should also be aware that there are scholarships for first-generation college-going students. First-generation college-going means that neither mom nor dad ever earned a bachelor's degree. They may have gone to college, but if they didn't earn a bachelor's degree, then you are a first-generation college-going student. There are a variety of other types of scholarships that are out there, and I'm going to be talking about a few of those in a minute. I also want you to be aware that the other free money is called grants, okay? Once you complete a free application for federal student aid, FAFSA application, you're applying for a Pell Grant. When you complete the Florida financial aid application, you are applying for a Florida Student Assistance Grant. If you were to receive the full Pell Grant and the full Florida Assistance Grant, you're going to receive about $7,000 to $8,000 a year in money to help pay for college expenses. When you complete the FAFSA, one of the other things that you're going to be considered for is college work study. College work study is a part-time job on campus, about 15 hours a week, generally a very easy job on the campus. It is scheduled around your course schedule, and basically what you should know is if you can get that, it generates about $3,000 a year for you to help pay for college expenses. The other area that almost nobody knows about or presents about is called corporate tuition assistance and reimbursement. If you have to work while you're in college to pay bills, you may want to select working for a company that actually pays corporate tuition assistance or reimbursement as a benefit. Some of the companies like Apple, Walmart, McDonald's, Starbucks, Best Buy, etc., all provide some version of corporate tuition assistance or reimbursement. For example, Apple provides up to $5,000 a year for employees who work 15 hours or more, and they have a reimbursement program. So what every course that the student gets an A or a B in, they are reimbursed up to $5,000 a year. About a year ago, I was walking by the McDonald's on University Avenue and 13th Street. They had a sign out there that said that they provide up to $2,500 for employees that are working for them. So again, it's important if you're going to have to work while you're in college to pay bills that you educate yourself about the companies that actually provide tuition assistance and reimbursement. Some students actually elect to leave high school and they want to go to a earn while you learn paid training, okay? Those are typically careers like becoming an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, a heating and air conditioning repair or installation person. If you are interested in that, Santa Fe College offers apprenticeship programs across the board, and it is a way for you to generate money and learn a profession immediately after leaving high school. You should know about the prepaid college funds, particularly if you are a Take Stock in Children student in Alachua County. At the end of graduating from high school in good standing, you would receive a Florida prepaid scholarship for 2 years that pays tuition at any Florida public college or university. And then the last type of financial aid I'm going to talk about, which is really the one that I, try and get people to look at getting as much free money as they can before they have to get in the loan business. But if you do have to borrow money to go to college, then one of the most important things for you to know is that the best loans are what are called subsidized loans. What that means is that subsidized loans, while you're in college, the federal government pays the interest on the loan. So that actually saves you money in the long run. So again, if you have to get in the loan business, you're really wanting to look at subsidized loans first. These are the primary sources of college financial aid for Alachua County seniors. We've talked about the FAFSA. We've talked about the Florida Financial Aid Application. Everybody should know that Santa Fe College, in addition to being probably the most affordable college in Florida, is one largely because they provide millions of dollars every year to Alachua and Bradford County students in the form of college scholarships, the main one being the Santa Fe Foundation Scholarship. But in addition to that, last year, Santa Fe started a program called the Santa Fe Achieve Program. I would recommend that every student that's a senior in Alachua County apply for admission at Santa Fe. And once they've done that, complete a Santa Fe Achieve Program application. Because if they decide to go to Santa Fe, that is a way of receiving a lot of money to get assistance. An example is if you sign up for the Santa Fe Achieve program, you not only get mentoring and advisement while you're a senior in high school, but once you graduate, if you attend Santa Fe College, you get $400 a semester for books. And if there's any demonstrated financial need, there's an opportunity that some of the financial gaps will also be covered by that program. Foundation of Alachua County Senior Scholarships. The Education Foundation Senior Scholarships come online beginning in January, and the deadline is in early February. Last year, the foundation gave $250,000 in scholarships to Alachua County seniors. So I encourage everybody to apply. If you are a student who is applying to an out-of-state school, that's an expensive school, you will also want to apply for the Venture Afar Scholarship, which is a $50,000 scholarship for seniors who have been accepted to an out-of-state college or university. For the parents who have students in 7th, 8th, or 9th grade, particularly if the student is living in a low-income family, I highly encourage you to look into the state Take Stock in Children program and apply, because the students who get into the program not only get a mentor and a college coach, but they get somebody like myself who is there to assist them through the whole process of getting into college. And when they graduate from high school successfully, they receive a 2-year Florida prepaid scholarship. Another one that I want to make you aware of is the Southern Foundation Housing Scholarship. If you are going to go to college in Gainesville, Tallahassee, or Fort Myers, you may want, and you're needing assistance with housing expenses, you may want to look into that scholarship. That program actually has multiple houses in each of the cities, and you could actually go and visit and see what they look like ahead of time just by contacting them. 2 other programs in Gainesville that I'd like to just mention quickly is the Clay Electric Youth Scholarship. So if you are on Clay Electric, again, beginning the beginning of January, you may want to apply for one of their scholarships. And if you are banking with the Florida Credit Union, again, they also offer scholarships to high school seniors that have an account with them. You should also know that GRU offers a scholarship that's $4,000, $1,000 each year to students who are interested in becoming an engineer. The only requirement other than that is the students must enroll at either the University of Florida or Santa Fe College to be considered. The last thing I'm just going to talk about related to scholarships is wherever you apply for admission, you should call the financial aid office and inquire about any scholarships that they are giving to students who are freshmen and how to go about applying. The last scholarship that I'm going to mention is called the Questbridge College National Scholarship. It is if you are a low-income high school senior who's excelled academically and wants to attend one of the most prestigious colleges in the country, you should look into the Questbridge National College Match Scholarship Program, okay? Just to give you an example, one of the students that I helped last year is just starting at Notre Dame. She got a full ride to Notre Dame through this scholarship application. These are just some scholarship search engines. The main, like the Alachua County Public School System has the Going Merry one on their website. But if you're looking to do a scholarship search, these are probably the best scholarship search engines out there. Okay. One of the most important things that I can say to you is that in the month of September, one of the things you certainly should do, both the high school senior and their parent, is to create a federal student aid ID and password. Both the federal student aid ID and password are necessary to log into the federal financial aid form called the FAFSA, and after it's completed, to sign it electronically. So you will want to do that as soon as you can in the month of September, because that opens the door for when the FAFSA can be completed starting in October. You will be ready to go. The free application for federal student aid or FAFSA should be completed within the first couple of weeks of October, if at all possible. Again, when you're completing that, you're applying for a Pell Grant, college work study, and direct student loans. And you're providing every financial aid office at the colleges you've applied for admission to with the data that they need to assess what your financial aid actually is for scholarships and grants. To complete a FAFSA, you need the following information: parent social security number, date of birth, email address. If you're a non-citizen, you need an alien registration number, which is commonly found on a green card. You need to know the date that the parents were married or divorced. You need a copy of the parents' 1040 tax form from last spring based on 2021 income. You need to have an estimate of how much money that parents have in the bank account after the bills are paid each month. You need to know if parents have any investments at all. And probably what's also important is to complete the FAFSA, they're going to send the parent and the student a code. So you'll need to have a cell phone when you're completing that application. The student information that's required is social security number, date of birth, and email address. Again, alien registration number if the student is a non-citizen. If the student worked and they completed a 1040 tax form, then it's important that they have that. If not, they should, if they work, they should have a copy of their W-2 form. Students also, if they have a driver's license, should have a driver's license number. And then the last thing they're going to need to complete the FAFSA is their cell phone. Every year, preferably in October, the FAFSA should be updated. Unlike the Florida financial aid application, the FAFSA has to be updated every year using the student ID and password, the parent ID and password, and the FAFSA save key that was used the first time you applied for federal financial aid. You're also going to need to have, again, every year to have an updated copy of the parent and student tax form. You should know when you're completing the FAFSA, if at all possible, you want to use the IRS data retrieval tool. What that does is it imports your income information directly from the IRS to your free application for federal student aid. And for the most part, it prevents you from being audited for verification. If you are audited for verification, basically what you have to do is provide the financial aid office with a copy of your 1040 tax form or a copy of an IRS tax return transcript. again, in October, the Florida financial aid application should be completed. If you get on the website and you click on create a student account, you'll have to fill out all the information there and submit it. Then it will take you to another website that you need to click on that actually gets more specific information from you. When you complete the Florida financial aid application, you are applying for a whole range of state scholarships and grants. Probably the one that most people know more than anything else is the Bright Future Scholarship. There are two versions of the Bright Future Scholarship. There's the Florida Academic Scholarship and the Florida Medallion Scholarship. In order to be eligible for either one of those, these are the criteria that you have to meet. There is one change that I'm aware of in the criteria this year, where it says on here, where it basically is talking about public service hours. You can now actually use part-time employment hours to meet that criteria as well. You should know that you have to pick up a document from the counseling office at your high school, and the information needs to be put on there and verified and returned to them prior to, really, hopefully prior to the beginning of May, so that they are prepared to send the information to the Office of Student Financial Assistance in Tallahassee. Once all of your financial aid forms are completed, the FAFSA especially, you should begin checking with the financial aid office at the colleges that you are planning to attend to make sure that they've received your FAFSA and any other information that they might need, okay? When you contact them, you should also ask them about the what financial aid package that college is offering you. That will pretty much tell you whether you're completely covered, partially covered, or where you stand in terms of the costs for college at that particular college or university. These three slides, if you send me an email that and request a copy of the PowerPoint, this kind of gives you a calendar of things that ought to take place in August and September, and then also what you should be doing in the month of October as well. So it's, again, it's really important. If you send me an email, I'm happy to send you a copy of the PowerPoint. All right, and here's my contact information. Cell phone is 352-328-8707. Email is williamj.goodman@icloud.com. I am ready right now to answer any questions that you might have.
Mr. Goodman, we have
Dr.
a
Goodman.
question. Can 10th graders apply for Take Stock in Children?
No, they have to be 7th, 8th, and 9th graders to apply.
Okay, and there was a question earlier about where to find scholarships. I knew you'd come through that as you have precisely done through your presentation. And you've offered your email and phone number so that messages can be left with requests and whatever the need is. I'd like to say that Dr. Goodman, ever since, I guess, as a counseling supervisor, he's never stopped helping students get into school. And he really is not just saying that, he does it. He'll drive from Hawthorne to Newberry if you need his help. I think the interest is just a passion, And he definitely makes himself available. So please use his contact information to ask additional questions, to get the slides, to get help if you need it. He does makes himself available even now after all these years after retirement. Looks like there's one other question, Dr. Goodman.
Okay,
It says, is your service consultation free of charge?
yes, it is. And, one of the reasons is I tell people the best payment in the world for somebody like me is to actually see somebody make it through college, get into a very good career that they enjoy. And so if people want to know why I do it for free, they should probably join me on Facebook, because I have about 500 of my former students who keep me up to date with what's going on with them. And they're in some magnificent careers.
Awesome, awesome. And before I forget, just a side note here, the young man you see in the still picture there on the webinar is Dr. Dre Graham. I almost forgot to introduce him. He's a very important and talented person. He is our director of equity and outreach, and he also supervises the Parent Academy program. He has many talents. I won't go into that anymore than that right now, but he is just a man of many talents and a joy to work with. So Dr. Dre, I don't know if you are wanting to show your natural smile. There he is our new equity director here with the Alachua County Public Schools system. And as I said, he supervises the Parent Academy program. We're so fortunate to have him over here. Looks like 3 questions for you, Doctor. Maybe one more. He's there. Lots of great thank yous, great information. He says, what's your Facebook page, Dr. Goodman?
It's basically under William Goodman. So I'm not sure what else I can tell you about that, other than
Facebook.
if you send me a friend request, just say that you're doing so because of the the interest in college financial aid.
Okay, and there are lots and lots of thank yous. People are really wanting that Facebook page, so you're going to get busy on Facebook, Dr. Goodman.
Well, actually, the best way to get the information is to send me an email, because then I can send you all kinds of information. The PowerPoint, I can help you with an educational resume. If you're needing to do that, I can show you some sample scholarship essay prompts if you're needing that. If you want a list of high demand, high wage careers for an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's in or higher degree, I can send you that information via email as well.
Wow. And we thank you for that. That's all free of charge.
Yes, all free of charge.
Thank you so much, Dr. Goodman. I believe that that was a very well-presented presentation. You've just covered a lot in a short time. And then, of course, it's going to be available on our website, as we said. And then, of course, they have your information, your contact information to get additional, have some additional conversations with you if necessary.
Great.
So if that's all, we thank you. Both presentations were phenomenal. I'd like to thank everyone for joining tonight's Zoom. Again, we appreciate your participation. Each week you are available to connect with us. There's more informative presentations and discussions coming. Next Thursday, September 8th, I believe the ESE team will be discussing some components and implications of an IEP. So, and how to navigate that process. So we'd love to have you back if that fits with your schedule. We just have really lots of great presentations planned for you, and we'd like to just team up and become a lot more informed about how and why we need to do things differently and right there along with our students, so that we all can be better for it. But we hope you'll join us again. If that's all, have a great night, everyone, and thanks so much.